What's up, guys? Welcome to Shred the Debt, the podcast that cuts through confusion and empowers you to take control of your financial future. Whether you're buried in student loans, battling credit card balances, or just tired of living paycheck to paycheck, well, you're in the right place. Each week, we bring you real strategies, inspiring stories, and expert insights to help you shred your debt and build the life you deserve. Are you ready to take action? Well, subscribe now. Share this episode with someone who needs it and join the movement to destroy debt for good. No BS, no judgment, just real talk and real results. So let's get to work. Well, guys, I know I've taken a little bit of a hiatus from the show for at least a month or so. We've been crazy busy. Through Thanksgiving. It's been wild. Now here we are at Christmas, about to close out the year, and I just wanted to get on here and do a show and kind of let you guys know what's been going on and what is to come in the future of the show. This will be episode 10, and this will close us out for the year. But I wanted to take a moment and kind of bring you guys up to speed. I'd received several emails about, we talked about our no spend in November. That was the last show where we talked about what we were doing to kind of save some money for November. So I have an update for you on that as far as what I did. And we've been helping several people. We've been closing out some meal plans, helping people with their budgets and just getting people on the right track and closing out the year and having people think a little differently going into 2026. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited to help more people and just give you guys real life, just real life experience from the trenches, as they would say. And I'm here with you. And as we close out at the end of the show, I want to talk to you guys about. I guess every year we talk about New Year's resolutions and what we're gonna do. And it's like, I'm gonna give up fatty foods, or I'm gonna give up eating at restaurants or, a certain place or do certain things. I think this year, at least for me, it's very, very intentional. And I have a plan. I have an idea. I'll share it with you as we go on through the show. But I wanted to start with the No Spend November. And if you guys listen to the previous show, I was going to give up eating out at lunch for a month. And save. I'd do the Burger King or the Popeyes or something like that. I was doing that at least 2 or 3 times a week. And I was a customer of the Dunkin', typically, if not every day, at least 3 times a week. So for November, I chose to give up eating out lunch. I was either going to bring my lunch or not have lunch, and I cheated the system a little bit. I did give in a couple of times. Popeyes was doing this thing called was it Mayfield Monday or something like that. It was crazy. Like, spend $10, you get some boneless wings or something for free, and I couldn't help it. I had to devour those wings at least once. So, but other than that, I did really good. I found ways to cheat the system. I was using a lot of Burger King points, and so I was creative in not spending money, and that's good. I mean, like I say, everything that we do where we make a decision to save money, we become creative in our thinking of how we can do things to save money. And I was really successful in using points for coffee and points for lunch. But I did notice that I was intentional, and I didn't have that in mind when November started for me to do that. Okay, so that wasn't my initial plan. But I was like, hey, I do have these points, and I can do this, and it won't cost me any money. But so I did get creative, but I did end up giving it in a couple of times to Popeyes. So reduce the amount of spending that I had for November. So that was cool. November is one of those times that there's a lot to be thankful for, and it's really cool this time of year. My work is awesome when it comes to helping the community and giving back, and I am definitely in alignment with those values and that idea. So it was cool. We were able to donate a lot of food to different places throughout the month of November for Thanksgiving. And the cool thing about my full-time job is they're doing that stuff all throughout the year. It's not we understand that people are needy in June, and as much as they are in November and December. And it's a serious time this time of year, and this show is very important, especially this one as we close out the year, and we're reflecting on Thanksgiving and with Christmas and those sort of things coming out, and just reaching out, giving back to your community, or if you're in a situation to where you need assistance, to understand, like, hey, this is just where we are. I don't, if you have to have the assistance, it's good to have it, but it's also good for those who can provide to the people in need of assistance. So, November, December, they all run together when it comes to being thankful, spending time with your family, and then just giving. The season, it's definitely the season of giving, more so than other times of the year. But like I say, there are people that need assistance and need help all throughout the year. So I'm very thankful to work for a company who shares those. It's through the Christmas season. One of the earlier episodes, I believe it was episode 5, we talk about couponing and, couponing without the clutter. And, I speak about things like, you can buy something like, let's say toothpaste, for example. If you need toothpaste, that's one thing, but just because there's a coupon and you spend $10 on toothpaste, but you didn't really need it, you didn't really save $25 or whatever. You spent 10, right? And, this is the time of year that I give all that stuff away. So I have a little bit of a couponing addiction, I guess, some would say. But it's really cool at the end of the year when you can, people are taking up for charities for personal hygiene items and stuff like that. And I empty the room that I keep this stuff for the year. And if there's a natural disaster or something like that, I always go to that and I give and just empty it and then restock it, because I have that addiction of couponing. So it's really cool this time of year. I think we took in 5 big boxes of stuff. It was crazy. I took it into my work, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, who donated all this stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool." It's like, it was wild. It was that we had 30 boxes of toothpaste and 20 some bottles of body wash and shampoo and stuff like that, and razors, and it was wild. So, but that's pretty cool. I love doing that. And now, as we start the new year, we get to restock everything and do it all again. So that's cool. One thing that I'm going to be working on in 2026 is going to be the fact of what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. So in 2026. Going to be looking at rebuilding the stock for we're also looking into setting goals that are greater goals than they were for 2025. We find ourselves in cruise control a lot of times in our life where we do make a change, and we sometimes we make a change once and then we don't challenge ourselves. So for 2026, I'm challenging myself. For one, I like to increase the contribution into my IRA, into my Roth, and I like to use the last paycheck of the year to test that. So I've done that, and I'm up to a lot of people retirement's one of those dumb things. Not dumb. The retirement's not a dumb thing, but I've done dumb things with money when I was younger. So don't do that. Don't ever take your retirement out. If you change jobs or something like that, don't ever take it out if you can help from it. Now, sometimes there's some hardships that come along, and you're left without a choice but to take out your retirement. Don't ever do that. Don't take it out to buy a Harley Davidson. That's what I'm trying to say. Back in my early 20s, I worked at a place for say 5 years, and I was in my early 20s, and I moved to another job. And my 401k was just sitting there. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know what to do with it or how to roll it over. When I would log into it, the only option really that stood out to me was cash it out. So back in the early 2000s, say 2007, I did that. And instead of rolling it over into another 401k, I spent it. Okay, so I went and bought a Harley Davidson, and it was cool. You're in your early 20s, you have a Harley, it's paid for. It's paid for because you used your retirement to pay for it, you dummy. And, then you were like, I was shell-shocked at the end of the year when I had to pay taxes on it, right? You take it out, and then you paid taxes on it again at the end of the year. It was dumb, man. It was dumb. So now I'm really diligent in retirement. It's something I take very serious. A lot of people tell you to put 15% in. For a long time, the employer that I worked for, they matched 3%, 100%. So I remember my parents always telling me, "Hey, that match is free money," and yeah, so we're getting 3%. And then, it's putting in 3%. So I was getting a total of 6. But then I'm like, man, 6, that's kind of a weird number, right? So take it to 10. So for a long time I was taking it to I was putting in 7 and getting 3, which was cool. And then for the last 4 years or so, I've been with a company that I'm very proud to be a part of. And their retirement match is every associate, whether you have a 401k or not. So if you have a 401k, you have their 401k. So that's cool. And I think you have to be, I forget, you have to be there a couple of years to be fully vested in it, right? So you can't just get their money for free. But I think the match that you get, you're vested from day one, I believe. So vested, if you're unfamiliar with that, that means that you get to keep the money that they match. You don't. So for 2026, I've increased my Roth contribution to 25%. So that's pretty cool. Dave Ramsey would say probably cap it at 15 or whatever, but I'm behind. If I hadn't have taken it out, I feel like I'm behind. If I hadn't bought a Harley Davidson with mine back in my early 20s, I'd probably be in a lot better shape because I would have nearly 20 years of interest, compound interest, and just the investment growth of that $20,000. But instead, I'm behind. So I don't know what 20 grand would have been 20 years ago, but it would. I think they say your investment doubles every 7 years or something like that. So nearly 3 times. So that 20 grand would now be 60 grand, I guess, or something like that. Well, it'd be more than that because it doubles and then it doubles and doubles. But so just looking back on that, I made a mistake. I'm trying to make up for it now. So we're going to do 25% going into 2026. I'm just going to continue to challenge myself. It could be, maybe we're not eating steak as often, right? But we are going to buckle down, and we can make adjustments. What you do is you know how much money you're making, and you look at your budget for the year, and you adjust the income. And then if the bills stay the same, you look at maybe it's eating out, one less time a month or something like that. But the important thing is that you do have a budget, And going into 2026, it's important if you don't have a budget, you listen to this show, reach out to me. I'll help you with it. We are doing financial coaching. I'm hoping to accelerate that in 2026, and there seems to be a lot of demand for it, so that's cool. There's no judgment here, and it's one thing I say in the intro is there's no BS and there's no judgment. I'm right in the trenches with you. I have the same bills that you guys have, and I just choose I choose creative methods to increase my income, and that's the most powerful tool that you have is your income to fight the debt that you have. And then some debt is a choice, right? It's I guess there's stuff that you need, and so those your electric bill, there's things that you can do to reduce those type of things as far as usage. But that's those are needs that we have, right? Those are requirements to live day-to-day life. That's not eating out at lunch every day or something like that. So just like I say, this show this week is a reflection as we close out the year and as we go into 2026. I want everyone to have the opportunity to to reach out and to speak with me and through email, shredthedebt@gmail.com. And I encourage you guys week to week to ask questions and to give me your thoughts on how things are going and what it is that you're struggling with. And that's what we're going to talk about from show to show as we this show gained traction for the last few episodes. Right, that's what we were speaking on, and that's we kind of let the topic kind of run itself when we did the show. So I want to continue to challenge you guys and challenge me in helping you to see things from a different perspective. So one thing that I see coming in 2026 is I'm trying to put out a guidebook called the Meal Plan. It's manufacturing. I've been in manufacturing my entire career. So between manufacturing and program management, it's still all manufacturing. And there's problem-solving tools that we use that can be utilized in all areas of your life. It's not just manufacturing. Problem-solving is problem-solving. It doesn't matter if you're working on a spaceship or if you're, trying to organize your garage. Everything problem-solving is all it's basic. And once you understand the fundamentals of problem solving, you can use those tools in whether it be finance, in your personal life, in your professional life, in your career. And that's the cool thing that I'm going to bring into 2026. So it's not like I'm going to go on a book tour and I'm going to try to sell you something and try to get you to buy something that makes you more successful. I'll try to share these tools and to work with you guys on these tools, on a case-to-case basis. But the problem is that I'm just one person, and it's easier for you to read and digest something through a book than it is for through other means as far as email or personal interaction or things like that. So that's one thing that I'm working on. It's just call it the Meal Plan, and it's just a manufacturing approach to financial problem solving. And I'm looking forward to it. It's an acronym, MEAL, MEAL, and it's motivation, education, application, and liquidation. So if we put this in perspective of finance, then you can we're going to you get motivated to save money or to eliminate your debt, and then you get educated on how to do that, and then you apply those principles, and then you liquidate the debt. So that's what's coming. So that's in 2026. That's one of the things that we'll be working on. As far as New Year, now we're talking about the new year and what we're going to do in the new year. There's always resolutions, right? There's New Year's resolutions, and one of the things I'm going to share with you guys, and I will keep you guys up to speed on the progress of this throughout the year. But I do have a couple of side hustles that are that I've been doing for a couple of years, and what I've done is I've invested the profits of these side hustles for the last 2 years. And this year, I was looking at some numbers. I was crunching the numbers, and I found that, looking at my house payment, and I'm just being transparent with you guys, right? Because this is a real life show, and I'm a real life person with real life, debt, just like you guys. So I'm down to having a house payment. That's what I have, and I have 9 years left on it. So it just clocked over to the 9-year point. I think 2035 is the 10-year mark would have been. I've been paying on it for 5 years, right? So I did a refinance in 2020 for 15 years, so that put us at 2035. So I have made a few extra payments in there, but that stuff doesn't come off until the end, so I'm not real sure as far as the exact date of the payoff, but we'll go with 9 years. So I was crunching some numbers, and I was looking at some things, and I said, you know what? I think if I put my mind to it and I look at these side hustles and I set some aggressive goals in these side hustles, I think I can pay my house off in a year. So I downloaded an app on my phone, and I put a goal in there for this year. So December of 2026 is my deadline to pay my house off. I want to be completely debt-free by the end of the year, and that's going to take some aggressive behavior on my end. It's going to be I'm going to be super motivated. Probably not going to be a very fun guy for the year, because a lot of my money is most all of my money is going to go to tackling this debt and to get it going, just get it gone, right? I want to know what that feels like. I work with people who have worked, in the industry, or even at my plant that I work at. They've been there for 30 years. They have checked the box of life, and I'm like, what does it feel like to be debt free, to not have a house payment? Well, I'm talking about not having a house payment. A lot of these guys still have car payments and such, but I'm like, what does it feel like to live in a we've checked the box, we've won, and they're like, oh man, it's there's nothing like it. You don't have to worry about that $2,000 a month payment or whatever coming in, and so I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely going to be a journey, but I will keep you guys on the line about it, right, and just keep you updated. It keeps me focused, right, because I'm going to share it. I'm going to share the progress with you periodically over the course of the next year of, hey, this is what I'm doing. So hopefully what you can see is if I can do this and I can share it with you, hopefully it motivates you enough to say, hey, you know what, I can pay this car off, or I can pay this student loan off, or I can pay off this credit card, or whatever this debt is, right? And I don't mind at all to share with you guys, the different kind of side hustles that I do. I mean, it's a wide range of stuff. It's crazy. People are going to think that you're crazy. I've bought and sold cars. I bought and sold junk cars to sell parts off of. I see on TikTok and social media that people go to a junkyard and they take parts off of a car, and then they go home and they put them on eBay. And I mean, that's really outside forward thinking. And I love it. I wish there was, a different platform than eBay. They take a lot of my money. I do sell things on eBay and sell things on Marketplace. I'm a seller, right? I'm an investor. I sling stocks. I sell. I'm an options trader. I do a lot of things, but what people think is it takes a lot of money to do that kind of stuff, and it doesn't. It takes as much money as you can afford to put towards it, and then the returns are small. The lower amount of money that you have, the lower your returns are going to be. But as you do this over the course of years and years and years, and you stay consistent, and you continue to learn and you continue to educate yourself, you're going to make better trades. You're going to make trades that are going to have higher yields. And it's better than just listening to someone on a podcast or on a radio show where someone says, "Hey, go put this in a high yield savings account," right? And you get 5% over the course of a year's time, which is completely ridiculous to me. I want to make 5 cents on every trade, or 5 cents. I want to make 5% on every trade that I do. I mean, that's the type of aggressive goal setting that I want for myself. And the more, like the old saying says, the first thing that says, the more you make, the more they take. That's the first thing that came to mind. But the old saying that says it takes money to make money, right? That's fairly accurate. But it takes a little bit of money, just a little bit of money, to make a little bit of money, right? So what you don't want to do is you don't want to invest a lot of money and make a little bit of money, and that's what your high yield savings account's doing. You're putting a lot of money in there, you're putting a lot of effort in there, and the return's not that great. So maybe we talk about coming into 26, we have a show where we talk about options trading. We talk about investing and stuff like that. And I'm by no means a financial advisor or anything like that. I can look at your budget, and I can look at your spending from a list of things that you spend money on, and I can look at your income, and I can say, hey, this is probably a waste. If we're trying to get to the root cause of why you don't have any money, I'm proficient at that. But if I'm going to tell you, hey, this stock here is going to go to the moon tomorrow, or this is a great trade, or I don't know. Most of the time it's a guess. But there's certain fundamental things that you can look at. But there are also different stocks that pay you dividends, and there's stocks that you can take a stock, you buy at a good price, and you can sell options on it. It's like charging rent for the stock, and if the price gets met that you sold the option for you, then you lose your shares, but you get paid for them, right? That's the cool thing about it. And then you just do it again. Those are the kind of things going into 2026 that we're going to continue to talk about. And I mean, I couldn't be more excited. I want to take this moment too and just express my sincere gratitude and appreciation for the show and for the response that it's gotten. We do have TikTok at Shred the Debt. We have a YouTube page where basically it's just the show on YouTube versus being on Spotify or Amazon or wherever you get your podcast, wherever you listen to the show at. It's cool. We're not to the level where we're making money off the show, and I don't care about that. What I care about is helping people, and I take this show, and I'm very intentional about it. I'm intentional about helping and looking at people's finances and giving them some reassurance that it'll be okay. Maybe not today, but if you make these modifications to your spending and you identify these areas that can be improved upon, you're taking a step in the right direction. You're going to see it's not going to be fun for a while, and I can't tell you that it is going to be fun for a while. It's difficult for me to take my side hustle money and put it away somewhere and invest it, right, and not go buy something cool, not go buy another Harley Davidson or go buy a boat or go spend money. And I picked up thrift shopping this past year. I've been doing that for about a year, and I have more fun with that than anything. And you find some cool stuff, and sometimes you keep it, sometimes you sell it, and but at the end of the day, it's fun. I enjoy doing it, and those are the kind of things that I'm going to be just more than happy to share with you guys. Basically, my life experiences as we go through this and navigate this together. Your questions, your concerns, anything that you guys want to talk about if I have experience about it or I have an opinion about it, I will use it on the air. And that's the driver for this show going into 2026. I want it to be listener based, right? I don't want to just say, "Oh, today we're going to talk about, debt, and today we're going to." I want to have an idea for the show, but I want to use your questions to give it purpose and to give it the depth that it needs to be successful. Because it's not about how many views it gets, right? It's how powerful it is. I don't care if 70,000 people listen to the show, if only 6 people, get something from it. I'd rather 10 people listen to the show and all 10 of them get something from it and have an interaction, because I don't want to lose the personality of the show, and I want it to always be personable and always want it to be effective and not just something that you listen to and not get any benefit out of it. So that's what we're looking for. So I want to know, when we come back the first of the year, as we kick off 2026, I want to know what your New Year's resolutions are and what it is that you, as a listener, are looking to help. What do you need help with in 2026? What would make your year easier? What would make your year better financially? And what are some ideas that you have as far as resolutions that you're going to, maybe something that you're going to change, something that you're going to cut out? I want to know about it. So send those in, and we'll use them on the air like we typically do. And that's going to be shredthedebt@gmail.com. And you can, like I say, you can find us on the on TikTok, Shred the Debt, and I'm looking forward to 2026. I think we've had an awesome time this year, and I'm looking forward to it. So, if you guys would tune in. I'm looking forward to 2026. So thank you guys for tuning in to Shred the Debt, where financial freedom isn't a dream, it's a plan. If today's episode has helped you take one step closer to crushing your debt, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, rate it, leave a review. Do you want more tools, tips, and motivation? Follow us on social media and join the Shred the Debt community. Until next time, keep pushing, keep planning, and keep shredding. You've got this. I'm Mike Boone, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.